Welcome to episode number 9 of Take 47 podcast. Today we have a lot of things. Well, not that many things to talk about, but I will be going in depth in a few of them. From President Biden's recent diagnosis with prostate cancer to Trump's big beautiful bill. And I'm going to start off with President Biden's recent diagnosis, which was made public quite recently, a few days ago, stating that a nodule was found in his prostate, which means that he has prostate cancer. This spread to his bones, but it appears to be a hormone-sensitive type of cancer, so it can be effectively maintained or controlled so that it will not spread. I'm not sure if it can be treated, but the very interesting part about this is that, as some of you may know, cancer doesn't really just, it's not it doesn't happen overnight, although it might technically change the results for cancer overnight. Maybe, you get a test one day and then the next day you get the same test and it comes out positive. It also really depends where you're being tested. But my point is that this isn't, it didn't just happen since Trump left office. It most likely, Biden most likely had cancer since he was in office. And there's a clip from, I believe, 2023 or 2021, but it's a few years. It's a clip that was a few years ago, where Biden kind of had a little slip, where he kind of said that he had cancer. I'll probably show the clip here if I can find it.
Put on their windshield wipers to get literally the oil slick off the window. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer. That's why I and so damn many other people I grew up have cancer.
But if so apparently he had cancer whenever he said that that he did have cancer. It was a little slip. But if he did have cancer, that means that obviously the White House health officials, his wife, and many other people really just lied to us, not only about his mental decline, which is very obvious, and I believe Jake Tapper has a book coming out. Jake Tapper is the journalist with white hair from CNN. He has a book coming out, I believe, talking about Biden's mental health decline and a few other things. But, this isn't really looking very good for Biden, at least not for now. Hopefully he gets better. Hopefully that cancer can disappear, or it can be treated. There's a pill that can cure cancer. I believe it's stuck in the, all the FDA approval. It's got to be approved by the government. But there's a pill that can apparently cure cancer. I believe Elon Musk talked about this about like last month or 2 months ago. But there's a pill that can apparently cure cancer. Hopefully the former president can get that pill or find another treatment. Obviously, I very much dislike his politics, and his presidency was very bad. I'd say he was the Jimmy Carter 2.0, and Trump was the Reagan 2.0. But I really dislike the politics of the guy. I don't really know that much about his personal life, but I still hope that he does get better and that he recovers. Obviously, cancer is a very terrible thing. It's very big disease. It's a very big illness that's across the country, across the world, very deadly. And it's a very slow and painful way to go out for a lot of people. But yeah, hopefully the former president, recovers and he can live out the rest of his years without cancer. And yeah, just wish for him a fast recovery. Okay, and next up is the Trump and Putin phone call. Before that, I believe on last episode I might have talked about Trump and not Trump, Zelensky and Putin, who were supposed to meet in Turkey on Thursday, but Putin backed out last minute, and he just sent representatives and said that they were going to trade 1,000 prisoners of war from each side, which obviously is a good thing. It's a very small step towards some diplomacy, but obviously we have to step it up. And President Trump had a call with the Russian President Putin yesterday, or Monday, whenever you're watching this. But yeah, he had a call with the Russian president. Not much about this call has been disclosed to the public, so I don't have all that much info on that. Hopefully in the upcoming days, I can get more info on this call. But we're still yet to see any news about that call that Trump had with the Russian president. It was about 2.5 hours long, so it was a pretty lengthy call. And the vice president and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, met with President Zelensky in Rome. After that, I believe the three of them separately met the new Pope, the Pope from Chicago. JD gave him a few gifts, including a Chicago Bears jersey with Pope Leo the 16th on the back of the jersey. Very nice gift to the new Pope. And but yeah, anyway, President Trump and President Putin, after the call that they had yesterday, not much has been disclosed about that call. Hopefully we can get a few more things going. I believe Trump said that it was an effective call, but he also said that it's not my war. So that can kind of be like a free hand to Russia, kind of like do whatever you want, but like, keep it human, not anything too crazy. Obviously, we still want to try and de-escalate this, because even if the conflict is in Europe or really anywhere between two major countries or two decently developed countries, it affects pretty much everybody else. Especially in this case, Ukraine is a giant farmer for, I believe, rice and grain and a lot of crops. They're a pretty big country in Europe. They're one of the biggest. Russia is, again, an even bigger country. It's the biggest country in the world. They have tons of natural resources, and with the sanctions from the U.S. on Russia and Europe sanctions on Russia, it's not great for the Russian economy, not great for all the other NATO economies, or really any other economy that relies on Russian oil exports to fulfill at least some part of their needs. But hopefully we can get this war done with eventually. I believe we're definitely closer to ending this than we were 2-3 months ago, and a million miles closer to ending this than we were under the Biden admin. But we're slowly inching towards peace, or at least a ceasefire, which would be also very good a step. I believe, once we do reach a ceasefire, it's going to be very easy to, or at least much easier to end the war. If you can get I don't know, like a 30-day ceasefire, or even better would be a permanent ceasefire until actual peace is declared. But if we can get a ceasefire, then I think that's going to be a very, very big step in progress to end this war. Okay, now an interview that FBI director and FBI deputy director, Kash Patel and Dan Bongino, went on an interview. I'm not sure. Again, I always get confused with ABC, CBS, NBC, MSNBC, but yeah, or PBS even, but CBS also. But my point is that they went on one of the interviews and they were asked about Jeffrey Epstein. Obviously, once these two got appointed, they all started researching into the Epstein files, 9/11, JFK, MLK, RFK. But the point is that after they were asked that question, this was their answer.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Now, here's a question: does that convince me, or does that convince you? At least it doesn't convince me. I'm not sure about what you might think about this, but me personally, I feel like there's more to this. I really doubt that they're done, and obviously there's tons of files that were destroyed and burned and are still hidden from the FBI director or the people who are trying to dig this out and show everybody what actually happened. But much like the Diddy case, lots of these celebrities and politicians and rich people want to keep this as some form of blackmail, or at least that's what Jeffrey Epstein did, and Diddy also did. My point is that the Epstein files, Jeffrey Epstein, who apparently killed himself. I'm still not super sure about that. I wouldn't stick to that answer. Maybe, and I don't know, some more time time will tell. But I think we should wait a bit more before making such bold claims. So many people believe that he was killed, that he didn't actually, commit the word I'm going to type down here. But this is a very complex case. It stretches out with tons of very important people. But, still, this should all be investigated and judged under the full weight of the law. It's not very professional or really even responsible or fair or just to keep all these ultra-rich people, all their crimes hidden until, they probably pass away or something happens that just makes all of this irrelevant. But, we should still get justice for all the victims, and all these disgusting rich people and politicians and celebrities should get judged by what they did. Talking about people who should get judged by what they did or have done, Democrat representative from New Jersey, LaMonica McIver. I don't know why I get all the terrible pronunciations. in all the topics I choose. But Monica, let's just stick to that, or the Democrat congressman from New York. There's a clip that went pretty viral a few weeks ago after the Newark mayor. Newark is a town in New Jersey, but after that mayor went into an ICE detention facility for, I believe, routine inspections, that mayor, a few other Democrat congressmen and congresswomen, along with obviously some people that were protesting outside, but they went into the building for, I believe, a routine check. The mayor of Newark got arrested. He was let go in about an hour. I'm still not sure as to, why he was arrested and what charges were held up against him. What crime did he commit or what did he do wrong? But this, he went in there. I believe that the other Congress people waited outside. But once he got arrested and they got the news, everything, just chaos broke out. But the scope here is on the Democrat congresswoman, who was charged with assault, I believe today, Tuesday, by the U.S. Attorney Alina Habba. She was charged with assault, and I'll probably prop up the video here. But, in the video, you can see her, using her body and her arms to push away the ICE officials, which is, so unnecessary. And it really just also shows, the how far the Democrats are willing to go to protect MS-13 gang members. And, now they're also terrorists. And all these gangs that kill people and torture people, and are striving for power and to take power from somewhere within a country's government. But there's a few other congressmen here. I'm not sure who they are. I really don't know. And I believe also President Trump gave his remarks on this, saying that she was crazy. And the video evidence is very clear, and all the Democrats are now yelling at Trump for prosecuting these other elected officials, because Trump's a dictator, right? Obviously, but it's almost as if they forgot what they did to him for the first 4 months of his campaign in last year, 2024. So about this time. But it's almost as if they forgot, all the court sessions that they made him sit through and just wait there for days, wasting time that he could spent on the campaign trail, winning more votes for president and trying to get elected again. But all this comes to say that no one is above the law, whether it may be Trump, Joe Biden, the Democrat congressman that got charged with assault. Also, she went on, after that clip went viral, she went on a spree of just going on tons of news outlets, saying they better not arrest me, even though, that's most likely what's going to happen. I'm not sure what happens once a elected official gets arrested. I believe their seat gets given to somebody else in a special election or something. They're probably forced to resign or something, because it wouldn't make much sense for them to vote from jail or from probation or anything really. The people who we elect to represent us in federal government should be present to vote at all times, really, no matter the circumstances. Also, I believe Democrat representatives a Democrat representative, like a month ago or 2 months ago. She went up to Speaker Johnson with a baby because she couldn't stay at home with the baby, because if she were to stay at home with the baby, she wouldn't be able to vote on some legislation, or really against some legislation. Which, again, I mean, it's really stupid, because why do you even want to vote? Like, you're most likely still going to fail. Like, it's most likely going to pass unless some squish Republican or some rhino decides to side with the Democrats. But, I mean, it's really just so stupid. Just stay home. Like, it's most likely going to pass no matter how you vote. Of course, there's obviously some outliers in this. Obviously, some Republicans might say no, but it really depends for certain things. But these people are going to extreme lengths to go against Trump. They all have TDS. It's really, I again just don't even know why they're even in politics. They should really just find something else to do, something less stressful, and something that if they break the law, they're still gonna get prosecuted. But they at least they won't disappoint their constituents. Also, a little side note: whatever charges were pressed on Ross Baraka, who was the mayor of Newark, New Jersey, they were dropped, I believe, Sunday. I think it was Monday. They were probably dropped on either yesterday or 2 days ago, but they were dropped. And with, I believe, Elena Haba said, with the intent to move forward. But now they're pressing charges are against La Monica. And yeah, we'll just have to see how this rolls out. Okay, now on to the biggest part of the video, which I will cover the most deeply. Trump's big beautiful bill. He's been talking about this since the campaign trail from last year. It's the big beautiful bill is pretty self-explanatory just within its title. It includes some reallocation of money within the government to I believe the Pentagon, or the military budget will increase from, I believe it's 856 billion. It'll increase from that to 1 trillion, probably a little bit more. I don't know. But it's around 1 trillion. But yeah, it's I mean, it's even crazy. It's even crazier than last budget. I mean, now our military budget is just insane. It's I believe the previous one, the one that we currently have, at the time of recording, that legislation has not been passed. But at the time that we have right now, at this time, our current military budget is about like our budget is the same or even more than the next 10 countries combined, which is like China, Russia, India, Turkey, I believe Germany, the UK, France, and a few other big countries in Europe and Asia, even maybe Brazil. I'm not really sure about who's like number 10. But my point is that like our military budget is insane, $1 trillion per year. So that's about $4 trillion being dumped into military research and maintenance and our personnel every term or presidential term. It's about $4 trillion. And most likely that's just going to get bumped up even more within the coming years, as it usually does. But it's better to, be over-prepared than be under-prepared. Something that the Trump administration has announced is the sixth gen fighter jet or fighter airplane that we will. I believe Trump authorized the to start the research and investigation to build the first sixth gen aircraft. No other country has this generation of aircraft. I believe China and Russia are still in fifth generation. Theirs are pretty decent, but ours is still obviously better. But yeah, other than the military budget being upped, we also have the Trump is reallocating some more money to the immigration so that we can deport people more effectively, the people who shouldn't be here. And I believe some cuts are being made to Medicaid and Social Security, but again, not how the Democrats said that this all would happen. Obviously, we're gonna start off by waste and fraud. There's no need to cut off Social Security and Medicaid for all the Americans that truly need it. But we're gonna cut off the Social Security and Medicaid for all the illegal aliens who are currently receiving it, even though they really shouldn't. They're not even they don't even belong to this country. They're not legal. They shouldn't be here. And same thing for Social Security, but also for Medicaid and Social Security, we are most likely going to be cutting for able-bodied people, able-bodied men, and some able-bodied women, I believe, if they're single. Or there's obviously a few cliches with that. But my point is that, like, able-bodied grown people that, don't need Social Security, that can go out and work, can receive, will get their Social Security or Medicaid cut off because they really shouldn't be receiving it. They should just get up and work if they can, obviously. These are cuts only to able-bodied people and illegal aliens who shouldn't be here. And today, Tuesday, I'm recording this about 1 p.m. Eastern Time, and Trump went to Capitol Hill to talk with some representatives on this bill. He said everything went well, no major issues, just a few smaller problems, but nothing that can't be fixed. I believe Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, wants to get this legislation passed before Memorial Day, which is Monday, so in like 6 days. And I've seen a lot of this on the news quite recently. I think we most likely will get it passed. Also, President Trump said that this will include tax cuts, and if this isn't passed, the Democrats want to raise your taxes, which nobody wants, obviously. But we also need to keep in mind that there needs to be a balance because we're in $36.2 trillion in debt as at the time of recording. And that really needs to go down because in 50 years, we're really just not going to have a country with all this crushing debt, which should just get paid. I don't know how we're going to do it, but there needs to be a way that is found to pay this debt. I believe Warren Buffett, there's a small clip of him a few years ago, that a law should be passed that if the national debt increases by even a cent or a dime, all elected officials, as in the Congress and the Senate, the representatives and senators, can't run for re-election, which honestly is a pretty good policy that probably should be passed. I really doubt that they would, but It's a great idea from Warren Buffett. Yeah, so this is episode 9, and next episode, I'm going to do it in Spanish for all my Spanish-speaking audience, and really see how that one goes. If that one does well, then I might stick to Spanish, but we'll see how that one goes. Next one will be episode 10. Today's Tuesday, and episode 10 will come out on Friday. I will not make an upload tomorrow on Wednesday because I'm going to try to actually post the president rankings. I'm really still deciding on how I should do it. If it should be from Trump, well, really Biden. I'm not going to judge Trump on his second term. I'm only going to judge him on his first. But I'm going to do, I'm still not decided on if I should do it from Biden to Washington or from Washington to Biden or some other weird order. But yeah, I'm still thinking as to how the order I'm going to upload this in. But yeah, next episode will be in Spanish. It should come out Friday. So today's Tuesday, so in about 3 days. Yeah, if you have any ideas, let me know down below. I know my last video I uploaded about James Comey and a few other things got about 61 views. It's my second most viewed video, not short video. My most viewed is episode 1. My second most viewed is the one I recorded last week and uploaded last week. It's about 61 views. Thank you all for watching. And obviously, if you like the videos, like, subscribe, share. And again, if you have any ideas or requests for what I should do, let me know down below in the comment section. And yeah, expect a lot of shorts to be pumped out in the very, very near future. Thanks for watching.